Right now at 6, 3 firefighters hurt at a popular ranch in a fire so intense it destroyed a barn in minutes. Plus,
this is just another lapse in accountability for public funds.
taxpayer dollars meant to help homeless people now under scrutiny as a county review raises big questions about how a nonprofit that's about to go bust spent millions. Then, how a day rooted in Black history is being celebrated across the Rose City.
This is not just a Black holiday. This is America's holiday.
And later, fans on fire as the American men set the tone on the pitch against Australia and soar to a landmark victory.
It was absolutely electric.
Electric and something to celebrate on this Friday because we're talking about 2 matches and 2 wins, something that has not happened for the U.S. men's team in the World Cup in nearly a century. How about that? Let's go right to live team coverage. John Adams recovering, so to speak, after a big watch party in downtown Portland. One that I'm guessing got pretty rowdy. And Art Edwards on the big win. Fair to say, Art, the vibes are victorious.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know, this was a perfect day for the U.S. men's national team in a packed stadium in Seattle. The fans, hey, they were really fired up and looking for a big-time effort from the national team. No Christian Pulisic, no problem. Got off to a great start when the U.S. got on the board early by way of an own goal in the 12th minute. They never really looked back after that against Australia. 43rd minute, Alex Freeman with the header to put the U.S. men's national team on top 2-0. Freeman, as it turns out, is the son of former NFL wide receiver and Super Bowl champion Antonio Freeman. The U.S. wins the match 2-0, advances to the knockout round. It's the first time that they have won back-to-back matches at the World Cup since 1930. The national team is on top of Group D right now with the 2-0 record. Now, they haven't won the group just yet because Turkey and Paraguay, they play later on today. The U.S. men's national team and Turkey, they're going to play on Thursday in Los Angeles. If the U.S. earns a draw in that match at the very least, they will win Group D. So now the next real question is, will Christian Pulisic play in that match? The team says that he is improving after a left calf injury that he suffered in the first match of the World Cup. The hope is that he will be able to play on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm sure he hates sitting on the sidelines right now on a day like today. Thanks so much, Art. Let's bring in John Adams downtown. John, we may have been 170 miles, give or take, from one of the loudest stadiums on the planet. But you know what? I saw it in my neighborhood. You could still feel this unfolding.
David, it was an electric atmosphere here earlier today. Fans in downtown Portland arrived early, cheered often, and celebrated a big win for Team USA. Fans lined up around the historic U.S. National Bank building in downtown Portland on Friday morning and packed the house to watch Team USA square off against Australia.
You know, it feels good. It feels good. The atmosphere is incredible. A lot of people out here showing love for USA, and we got to come together and do it for our country.
Being around other people, getting to cheer with other fans is like 10 out of 10.
And it didn't take long for the crowd to erupt at the Away Days Brewing watch party, with Team USA scoring just 11 minutes into the game. The Americans struck again just before halftime, making the score 2-0 heading into the break.
It was absolutely electric. It's so fun to just be around a lot of other people celebrating the World Cup and kind of all the world cultures, and just coming together as a community has been really fun.
In the second half, Team USA's defense stifled the Australians, melting away the remaining time to secure the 2-0 start to World Cup play.
The U.S. national team just did what they set out to do, and hopefully that means win the group.
Super awesome to see this win. I mean, I've been following for a long time.
USA! Fans excited to enjoy this historic day together.
I'm in the community in Portland, always showing up, doing fun things for the soccer community, but it's great. I mean, the building's beautiful. It's fun to see it in use, and I'm going to come to a lot more games here.
And say the sky is the limit for this U.S. squad. And like Art was saying, David, the journey continues for Team USA. They're back on the pitch next Thursday versus Turkey. Back to you.
John Adams downtown, where it's still quite loud out there. Thanks, John. You know, we talk about feeling good. Let's switch to a live look from our Vancouver sky camera. 87 degrees over the Columbia on this showstopper of a Friday, with, it appears, plenty more sunshine in your weekend forecast. And Matt, we've been talking about this. It also sounds like we're talking about a weather impact alert on the horizon.
For Monday and Tuesday, it's going to warm up again into the mid-90s. We're talking about a major heat risk on those days. So what you want to start thinking about doing and planning for is trying to limit your exposure to that heat in the hottest part of the day. In the afternoon, early evening hours, Monday and Tuesday, try to avoid strenuous activities, find some air conditioning, a fan, whatever you can do to limit your exposure to the heat so you don't end up like that guy. And make sure you hydrate and make sure you give the plants and the pets extra water because that is very, very dry air as well. All right, we've got an extreme heat watch out for the metro area again and the gorge. That'll be converted to a warning as we get closer in time to Monday. And it's likely going to expand in coverage just like it did for the event we had last Sunday and Monday when it got super hot there. There's also a red flag warning for fire weather conditions for tomorrow afternoon across good part of central Oregon and central Washington down into California and Nevada. But this evening we've got thunderstorms forming in central Oregon. I'll show you those in a bit. Portland, or actually the reserve golf course right now is 87 degrees. But look at Salem and look at the winds down to the south, all out of the southwest and west, ushering that cool ocean air back in the valley. So we get a reprieve tomorrow. More on the weekend, Father's Day, and the beginning of summer in a bit, David.
Oh, first day of summer coming. Thanks, Matt. Now to breaking news in downtown Beaverton, where a semi-truck knocked down power lines. Not a good thing. People are being told to shelter in place. The truck authorities say apparently took out 7 power poles. This is impacting buildings from Southwest Watson Avenue to Main and Farmington to 3rd. Police say both 3rd and 2nd Streets will likely be closed to traffic for several hours. No one has been hurt, though the lines, as you can imagine, are creating a big hazard. PG says it's working to de-energize them so crews can begin cleaning up. If you are in the area, do not, under any circumstances, attempt to cross live power lines. As a general reminder, if you're in your vehicle and a line falls on or near it, stay inside your car and immediately call 911. We'll keep you posted on this. In your headlines now, Gresham police are asking for help finding this man, 70-year-old Richard Fay. Fay has schizophrenia, and officials say he's been missing since he left a doctor's appointment around 10 this morning. He was last seen near Northwest 12th Court, just off Division and Riverview Avenue. His family's concerned, saying Fay also has cognitive issues and can become easily confused. If you see him, contact Gresham Police. Developing this evening, the owners of a well-known ranch in Molalla are picking up the pieces after a fire broke out Thursday night. Wow, this is at the Coleman Ranch off South Friar Park Road. Once crews arrived, they say it turned into a 4-alarm fire within minutes, consumed the entire hay barn. 3 firefighters were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. No word yet there on the cause. And one person is in custody this evening after a stabbing near the Springwater Corridor in southeast Portland. Deputies say this was just after 8 this morning near southeast 174th and Jenny Road. One person was stabbed and should survive. Authorities say they found the suspect in the woods nearby. Developing this evening, misusing millions in taxpayer dollars meant for homeless services. That is the conclusion of a new Multnomah County review of the nonprofit Sunstone Way, which, by the way, is scheduled to shut down this month, citing financial challenges. The report finds Sunstone Way may owe the county more than $3 million in money it's spent in less than 2 years. It includes more than $100,000 in personal and entertainment expenses, things like staff outings at Patty's Bar and Grill and Top Golf. Multnomah County's newly appointed Homeless Services Director points to staff turnover at the county, leading to the lack of oversight.
It's incredibly frustrating, quite frankly, angers me that any actors, either through negligence or bad actions, would be making our services less efficient than they could be.
Do you believe Sunstone Way is an isolated case, or are there other nonprofits allegedly misusing taxpayer money?
I do believe it's an isolated case.
Well, in a statement, Sunstone Way told KGW in part, Sunstone Way acted in good faith, relying on the direction, recommendations, and approvals provided by the county. It is deeply troubling to see these new allegations. The hardworking, dedicated employees of Sunstone Way are the ones harmed by the county's action, end quote. We'll see. Sunstone Way was made aware of the findings on Thursday and has 2 weeks to respond. You can find out the county chair's position. In theory, the buck stops there, right, on this. It's coming up at 6:30 on KGW+. This Friday is Juneteenth. Celebrations underway to mark the moment in history when the last enslaved people in the U.S. learned they were finally free. Celine Stevens live in Northeast Portland. Celine, nice to have the holiday on a Friday, and it sounds like this is more than just one day of festivities.
David, it most definitely is. And right now I'm actually at Lillis Albina Park, which is where that big Juneteenth parade that we see every year is going to wrap up. And then after that, around noon, there's going to be a big festival here. But everyone I spoke with today about the importance of Juneteenth just emphasized to me that it's a day that celebrates true freedom, even calling it the American dream.
I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth today. I'll celebrate it tomorrow. I got a flag in front of my house. This is not just a black holiday. This is America's holiday.
Juneteenth celebrations have begun and are set to continue into the weekend to celebrate the day everyone in the U.S. became free.
1865 is when the slaves were freed from Galveston, 2.5 years later after the proclamation was signed. So celebrating that this is really American history where everyone was free.
That history and the discrimination that still continued after is a not so distant memory for some.
I grew up with my grandparents who were sharecroppers. They didn't get the opportunity to vote for a very long time, and they made sure that my generation were those that continued to fight for our rights and our opportunity to vote and to be represented.
Friday, events like the Interfaith Black Clergy Prayer Breakfast allowed community members and elected officials to come together and discuss current political issues that can impact the Black community.
It is not just a communal event, but it's also a political event. Everyone comes together yearly to celebrate and to honor our accomplishments, and also give special honors to those who may not receive them in a more official way.
More events are on the horizon as well, like the well-known Juneteenth Parade, also known as the Clara People's Freedom Trail Parade.
We're setting up here at Lillis Albina Park for the stage, our vendors, getting ready for them to load in tomorrow. Starting at noon is when the festival will all begin. So the parade's going to start at King School, and it's going to go down south on MLK. Turn on Knott Street and end here at the festival.
Janelle Jack is the granddaughter of Clara Peoples, who is considered the mother of Juneteenth in Oregon.
This is our legacy that we're continuing.
For the community, the unity of events like this can warm the heart.
There's a lot of negative energy out there. Being able to come to something as positive as this is really just upbringing.
So this parade is going to start at 11 a.m. up near the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School and then come down to this park where it will wrap up, and then the festival will begin. This is the 54th annual Juneteenth parade. Back to you.
It's going to be a beautiful day for it as well. Celine Stevens in Northeast Portland.